Something serious just happened. A powerful authority acted against one of its own. Not because of public pressure, not because of politics, but because a basic rule was broken. A decision was made using something that no longer existed, and that decision changed a life forever. On a humid Monday morning in Abuja, a sealed brown envelope arrived at the headquarters of the National Judicial Council in Maitama. It bore no return address, no signature, just 3 words written in bold black ink, "For the chairman." Inside that envelope was a single document, a certified court record, and what it revealed sent shockwaves through the entire judicial system. Justice Samuel Omotosho, a respected federal high court judge in Abuja, had sentenced a man to 3 years in prison. But here's the problem. The law he used to jail that man had been abolished 5 years earlier. Gone, repealed, erased from Nigeria's legal system. Yet somehow it was stamped, signed, and enforced. The man sent to prison? Chukwudi Kanu, a former tech entrepreneur turned political activist from Umuahia, Abia State. He had built a massive online following by exposing alleged corruption in government contracts linked to road projects in the southeast. His live streams went viral, his documents looked authentic, and his enemies were powerful. In March, security operatives arrested him in Akwa, Anambra State. They charged him with inciting public disorder, a charge that legally no longer existed. Justice Omotosho sentenced him to 3 years in Kuje Correctional Center. No bail, no appeal window, no mercy. Within 48 hours of receiving that envelope, the National Judicial Council summoned Justice Omotosho for questioning. By Friday, he was suspended indefinitely. But what Nigerians didn't know was that this case was only the surface of something far deeper, darker, and more dangerous. Because someone had gone to extraordinary lengths to make sure Chukwudi Kanu was locked away. Someone powerful enough to manipulate Nigeria's legal system itself. And the question that haunted everyone who knew the truth was simple. Who? Let's go back to the beginning. To understand what went wrong, you need to know what law was used. The Public Order and Security Act of 2019. It was a controversial piece of legislation that gave authorities sweeping powers to arrest and detain anyone accused of threatening public order. Critics called it oppressive, activists called it unconstitutional, and in 2020, after nationwide protests and a Supreme Court ruling, it was repealed. It was removed from Nigeria's legal framework entirely. Any case built on that law became invalid. Any sentence passed under it became void. That was 5 years ago. So when Justice Omotosho sentenced Chukwudi Kanu using that same abolished law in March of this year, it wasn't just a mistake. It was a violation of the most basic judicial principle. You cannot enforce a law that does not exist. But here's where it gets strange. Justice Omotosho is not known for recklessness. He's been on the bench for over 15 years. He's disciplined. He's careful. He checks his references. So how did this happen? During questioning by the National Judicial Council, Justice Omotosho gave a simple explanation. I acted based on documents submitted by the prosecution. The prosecution denied responsibility. The police denied it. The Ministry of Justice denied it. Everyone pointed fingers. No one took blame. And then came the first plot twist. A secret IT audit of the Federal High Court's digital system revealed something terrifying. The abolished law had been reinserted into the legal database, complete with fake amendments, complete with court references that looked legitimate. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't an oversight. It was a deliberate digital manipulation. Someone had altered Nigeria's legal records. Someone with access to the court's internal systems. Someone who knew exactly what they were doing, which meant Justice Omotosho may not have been acting alone, or even knowingly. But the National Judicial Council suspended him anyway, because whether he knew or not, a man's freedom had been stolen, and someone had to be held accountable.
The real question now became, who wanted Chukwudi Kanu locked away so badly they were willing to rewrite the law? And what were they trying to hide? Chukwudi Kanu wasn't just another detainee. He was a voice, a loud one. Before his arrest, he had over 200,000 followers across social media platforms. His videos exposed inflated government contracts, missing funds, ghost projects, roads that were paid for but never built. He didn't just talk, he showed receipts, documents, bank statements, procurement records. And one name kept appearing in his investigations: Honorable Victor Bamidele, former House Committee Chairman on Infrastructure, a political heavyweight from Ekiti State. Kanu accused him publicly of inflating federal road contracts by billions of naira. He called him out by name. He dared him to respond. Victor Bamidele never did, at least not publicly. But in March, Kanu was arrested, and by April, he was in Kuje Correctional Center, serving a 3-year sentence under a law that didn't exist. Inside prison, things got worse. Kanu was denied medical treatment for a chronic ulcer condition. His cell location was changed without explanation, and his name was flagged under a list labeled high-risk detainee. But here's the problem. That list was not authorized by the Nigerian Correctional Service. It came from a private security firm, a firm contracted by the Ministry of Works, the same ministry linked to Honorable Victor Bamidele. This wasn't just about silencing a critic. It wasn't just about a forged database. It was a coordinated operation, an operation designed to silence a critic, manipulate the judiciary, and cover the tracks of powerful men. And it almost worked. But the system pushed back. The National Judicial Council suspended Justice Omotosho. The Nigerian Bar Association called for a full investigation. Civil society groups demanded answers. For the first time in a long time, the system was holding itself accountable. But the cost was high. A judge's career was destroyed, a journalist was missing, and a man was still sitting in prison, convicted under a law that didn't exist. Justice, it seemed, was fragile, and in Nigeria, it could be rewritten overnight. So where does that leave us? Justice Samuel Omotosho Wanin's suspended. His future is uncertain. His reputation, built over 15 years, is in ruins. Chukwudi Kanu is still in custody. His health is deteriorating. His family is fighting for his release, but the legal process is slow, and the system that failed him once may fail him again. Amaka Ibe is still missing. Her colleagues have filed reports. Her family has pleaded for answers, but no one knows where she is, or if she's even alive. The manipulated legal database has not been fully restored. The IT audit is ongoing, and the identity of the person who ordered the digital alteration of Nigeria's judicial system remains officially unknown. Honorable Victor Bamidele is in Dubai, living comfortably, beyond the reach of Nigerian authorities, and the truth is still being buried. But here's what we know. This case exposed something far bigger than one judge or one activist. It exposed how vulnerable our system is, how easily it can be manipulated, how quickly justice can be turned into a weapon. In a country where the law can be rewritten overnight, the real question isn't who broke the rules, it's who controls them. Because if powerful people can alter legal databases, manipulate court records, and silence journalists, then none of us are safe. Not you, not me, not anyone. This isn't just about Chukwudi Kanu. It's about every Nigerian who believes in justice, every Nigerian who trusts that the law will protect them, and every Nigerian who wants to live in a country where the system works for the people, not against them. The National Judicial Council did its job. It acted. It held one of its own accountable. And that matters. Because accountability is not optional. It's essential. But the fight isn't over. Kanu deserves his freedom. Amaka deserves to be found. And the people responsible for this manipulation deserve to face justice. This channel exists to tell these stories, to shine a light on the cases that get buried, to ask the questions that make powerful people uncomfortable, because Nigeria deserves better, and we deserve the truth. If you care about Nigeria's future, if you want real, honest political analysis, then this is the channel for you. Subscribe, stay informed, and let's hold our system accountable together, because the real story is far from over, and the truth may shock us all.